Hey, MarkKing here, and here's another bit of news. It's what you expect in 2020. This is from CBS News, and it's by Lee Cohen. Students won't have to take the SAT or ACT to get into University of California for the next 4 years. Okay, of course it's California, right? Commifornia for a reason. Okay, so let me just read the not. Usually the top of the basis of a story is usually called a not graph, right? That basically contains most of the important information. Anyway, high school students who hope to get into the University of California system no longer have to worry about taking standardized exams. The university system announced on Thursday that for the next 4 years, incoming freshmen do not have to take the ACT or SAT to be considered for admission. According to the statement on its website, the University of Cal Board of Regents unanimously voted to suspend the SAT ECT requirements for incoming freshmen until 2024. In place, UC will create a new test that better aligns with the content university expects students to have mastered for college readiness. The announcement said the new test doesn't meet the standard in time for the fall of 2025 admission. The school said it will eliminate the standardized test requirement for California students. Okay, this is just a quote here. Today's decision by the board marks a significant change, yada yada yada, removing the ACT and SAT requirements for California, yada yada. Okay, this worries me a lot, right? Now you see a big push by people who align themselves with the left. What they push for is tests, but like people don't know this. SATs they award points if you're black, right? I think it's like 600 points if you're black or something like that. Maybe 300. I can't remember the exact amount. It's been a while. And I think they're minus points if you're Asian or from a successful racial group, right? So this is what I think is going on in California with getting more information. Well, they've been pushing for a while to eliminate testing to create a false sense of equality, and it's very scary when these things get pushed. Because it takes with people who earn it, and there are a lot of people smarter than me just haven't been given the right brick in life than the people who are stupider than me who have been given everything in life. I'd much rather have somebody who is smarter and earns it make a better living than me than somebody who hasn't earned it. So this is why I hate these SATs. And no, I will say there are some like people who just aren't ready in life to succeed. It takes a little longer. Like I wasn't ready to become who I am after 20, let's say after 21, 22, 23. This is when you graduate from school and things like that. No, usually when people get in their 20s, I think mid to late 20s, they develop a sense of understanding of the world. Now, sometimes people just shouldn't go to college right away, right? But here's the thing, right? A lot of things you learn in high school, if you take like 2 years off, 3 years off, you'll forget it. So it's a give and take. But also sometimes the maturity level isn't really there. So like forcing someone right away outside of high school to go to college may not be the best thing also. But here's the thing: the things that you learn in high school will always be in your mind somewhere. Okay, it just needs to be reactivated. Okay, right? So even though I said it's gonna forget a lot of stuff, you probably will remember it once you start relearning it again pretty easy, better than the other kids who are just learning it for the first time, for example. Okay, but this worries me because it's a push for social justice and identity politics. Again, when you start hiring people by race, this leads to egregious hiring practices, right? Again, what we see out of college, women are getting hired more than men with the exact same qualifications, and people try to spin it. Well, the reason men start earning them later, like in their lives, like when men turn like 30 and women turn 30, it's because women drop out of the workforce. Partially true, but you can also take it as men kind of outwork women, and that's what people don't really want to admit. They'll try to spin it because I understand you don't want to be banned from these platforms, and the reason people don't be banned from Twitter also is like it can get your name out, it can make you some money. It's a shame that there's no true rival for Twitter. Like I'm pulling for Parler and Gab to be honest with you, but Gab is being labeled a white supremacist platform, right? Everything that they hate is considered white supremacy. Okay, that's really it, right? Everything that they dislike is white supremacy. It has no meaning anymore. Okay, that's it. So a test blind admission is during which campuses will not be allowed to consider test scores. Okay, starting in the fall of 2021, will completely eliminate the requirement for writing portion. This scares me, right? So when I went to high school, most of the kids cannot write, right? And this is something they were trying to push to improve upon, and some kids just can't do it. Believe it or not, people who are like better in math usually have poor writing. People who are great at writing aren't great at math or science, for example. Just the minds are different. People should really, how do I say this? Structure things towards people's minds rather than try to do the opposite. This push for equality has completely killed the merit based system. People aren't equal. You're supposed to have equal rights, but as we do not even have equal rights. Some people, women, have more rights than others. Some people are given. I did a story where, quote unquote, teens will not be charged with anything because they couldn't find a hate crime when he drop kicked the Asian woman, and it's just like, we know what's going on. It's the lowered expectations. It's also they think teens, quote unquote, are, they do not have the same ability as other races, right? Other races, you get my drift, as other teen races. Anyway, oh, here we go. All the SAT and ACT that was inhibit black and people of color, specifically from lower income communities that didn't have access to tutors. And this is the spin they'll always put on it. They pretend like they care. They don't care. It's a pat on the back. Some people just always want pats on the back. I hate pats on the back, man. I despise it. If I do a good job, I hate pats on the back. Also, it's just not me. I think most men probably feel the same way, right? And like, again, men have more abilities, just the way it is. Okay. If you don't know you have more abilities, you'll never achieve it. You know, that's why sometimes it's better to struggle than not. Struggle builds character. In hard times, men. It wasn't hard times create hard men. Soft times create soft, effeminate men. Okay. According to the College Board website, the SAT costs $50 or 64 if students want to take a writing portion. Also fees. Yeah, this is wrong. I do think there's some. Well, okay. If you're buying sneakers, you should be able to afford this. But also, it's just like testing has too many fees in general. Like for me to get into college, for me to get even a government job, I have to pay money. For me to take tests, take computerized tests, you have to pay money, and it's wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong. You shouldn't really require these things. I you know, okay, private institution I guess can if the college is, but a lot of times these public spaces that you pay taxes for, they have no right to charge you money to take tests. A lot of people don't even know that colleges offer free IQ tests. It usually costs about $2,000, I think, or $3,000 at this point for the test. The hush hush, because they don't want students to spend to basically spend the money to take the IQ test. Now, I have a pretty good IQ, but it's like, again, IQ doesn't equal success, but it's it gives a better chance of success. Okay, right? My IQ, I should have been a millionaire plus by now. Okay, but I'm not. I'm struggling, swimming upstream essentially. According to the ACT, more than 2/5 of test takers are underserved, and tend to achieve lower. Again, okay, so it's the whole chicken or the egg thing, right? What came first? Um, it's like, gosh, less intelligent people do less intelligent things, which means less for the offspring, right? And it'll be a pattern throughout continuation until the offspring uplifts itself at some point. What these insane privileged people want is people who aren't them to give up everything they have so everybody could start at zero, but just not them. It's okay for this blonde haired person to talk about discrimination, But she'll never give anything up. She lived with a comfy white boyfriend while talking about black and people of color, to get that pat on the back and the retweets and whatever goes with social justice. Anyway, that's it. I'm against this eliminating test, even though I understand the whole monetary side of it. I feel it's wrong. But then, what else you can replace it with? You know, and these kids who kids who are way poorer than me, right? In high school, they would pick at me for not wearing the right gear. If you get my drift, I didn't have the right coat, the right jacket, the right hat, the right shoes, the right watch. But these poor kids who come from the projects with these flashy clothes and they're always color coordinated somehow can't afford a test. Give me a break, okay? Just give me a damn break. Okay? Alright, that's ridiculous. And everybody knows it in the back of their minds, but they pretended not to because, again, they want those pats on the back, which men should hate, okay? Okay? Men aren't about pats on the back, okay? Do your work, move on. That's where men work. Okay? Alright, that's it. Social justice is evil, and so is these policies from California. Worry about spreading everywhere because this is a sign of commies coming. Okay, all right. Things should be merit based, not based on your sex. Okay. Take care. Bye. Thumbs up. Share. Save. Subscribe. Yada yada yada.